Hey, good morning, friends. It's Joe. Welcome to my scripture reflection for Sunday, August the 31st. I'm sorry. Yeah, today is, yes, it is Sunday, August the 31st. I was getting ahead of myself. Happy Labor Day weekend. Labor Day's tomorrow, and that's September 1st. See, these things happen, right? So I want to wish all of you a very happy Labor Day weekend, the unofficial end of summer. I'd like to also start with our prayer intention. Our prayer intention today is for all who are lost or homeless. There are many animals and people who are lost, who don't have a home. They're either lost physically and emotionally, or they're lost physically. Either way, they are struggling. And I'd like to offer a few moments right now of silent prayer for all of those in this situation because it is a difficult situation to be in. We need to send them our love, our compassion, and our strength. Thank you. And today, as you're either scrolling through Facebook or social media and you see any of these people or animals listed, please send them first and foremost your prayers and your inner strength. They can use it, it helps, and it does go a long way towards making this a more peaceful world to live in. With that, I will ask you to quiet our minds and hearts as we prepare to hear today's gospel, which is from St. Luke chapter 14, verses 1 and 7 through 14. On a Sabbath, Jesus went to dine at the home of one of the leading Pharisees, and the people there were observing him carefully. He told a parable to those who had been invited, noticing how they were choosing the places of honor at the table. When you are invited by someone to a wedding banquet, do not recline at table at the place of honor. A more distinguished guest than you may have been invited by him, and the host who invited both of you may approach you and say, "Give your place to this man," and then you would proceed with embarrassment to take the lowest place. Rather, when you are invited, go and take the lowest place, so that when the host comes to you, he may say, "My friend, move up to a higher position." Then you will enjoy the esteem of your companions at the table. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and one who humbles himself will be exalted. Then he said to the host who invited him, "When you hold a lunch or dinner, do not invite your friends or your brothers or your relatives or your wealthy neighbors. In case they may invite you back, you may have repayment. Rather, when you hold a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind. Blessed indeed will you be because of their inability to repay you, for you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous." When we read a gospel or we read a book, I always say this point, but I think it bears repeating. We need to look a little deeper than what we're seeing. We need to see how it applies to us, how it applies to us today, how it applies to us tomorrow. Where would we be if we were placed in the middle of this passage, of this gospel, or this story in a book? How can it add value to us as well as others? So when I read this gospel, a parable by Jesus, which is exactly his intention, by the way, which is to get us thinking, I see a couple of important qualities we can take away. The first is detachment. Detachment. We find ourselves always being so attached to status, to how we look, to things, to material things, and yes, sometimes even people. And we need to be somewhat more detached. Yes, I will say it. There is a Buddha saying that is similar to this. It is saying in this way that the Buddha expert detaches from all, but stays connected to all. There's this fine line between remaining too attached and not being attached at all. Detachment, but connection in a more healthy way. So there's detachment. Very important. The other thing I see in this gospel is acceptance. Acceptance. Accept your place in life. Accept where you are. I don't mind sharing that right now I'm at a place where I'm looking to see what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, how I'm going to play it out, what I'm going to do with my talents that I feel come from God. How am I going to accept not being able to do what I did 30 years ago? How do I accept maybe having to work a little bit harder in the gym? How do I accept some of the things that go on right now that are pushing me a little bit in places I don't want to be? All questions we ask ourselves, right? But to accept means just that, to accept, to sit back and accept it a little bit better. So these are two very strong themes I see coming from this gospel: detachment and acceptance. And what does Jesus say that if we can do these things, which is kind of what he's saying, and I got it from him, by the way, I didn't get it from myself. If we do these things, our goal and our reward is in the resurrection. And yes, we need to put our hopes there. But wait a minute, how about something for today? There's got to be something for today, and there is. Because, my friends, when you have this detachment, healthy acceptance in your day to day life, your reward today is inner strength, inner peace, inner quiet. Something we all seek, something that can give us the ability to do more for ourselves and others. This is what I see coming out of this gospel. There's always many messages to latch onto. This is a very powerful one, I feel, and it's a one that I feel is very practical. We could take it right into the next actions of our day. Healthy detach, healthy accept, feel the inner strength, and then put it to work for yourself, for others, and for God. Well, my friends, that's my message for you on this Sunday. As always, I hope it was helpful for you. I always welcome and appreciate your comments and your thoughts. And I always appreciate you being here with me. Just one final note before I leave you for today. I will be back with you at least one more time this week. And then, unlike the few weeks I had to sort things out a few weeks ago, I am going away for a few days at the end of this week. So I will not be here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. But let's focus first on this week. I will be back with you at some point. I look forward to it as always. And until then, I wish you and your loved ones a very blessed Sunday and Labor Day weekend. Take good care.